Hello, everyone. I trust that the audio and video are working okay. Yes? Okay? All right. Yeah, should be good to go. Glad you could join in on this cool, wet spring day. The plants are loving it. I spent a couple of days planting like a madman while it was sunny and warm, and once they all got in, they got all the rain yesterday. So spring, it's good. So today we're going to be investigating the yin and yang of motion and stillness, inner and outer. And before we launch into this too much, I want to set up a little bit of an intellectual structure for what it is we're going to be doing with our bodies, that we're going to be experiencing. So we all know that in any moment, everything is happening. So in just one moment, with all the people in the world, people are doing all these different things. And the animals and the plants, and if we just take one moment and extend our awareness out to everything that's going on, say just on our one little tiny planet, there's an unfathomable amount of movement, experience, impermanence that's going on. And that's actually, that contemplation is a direct way to experience non-self, even maybe just briefly or for a longer period of time, by just contemplating what is happening just in this moment. Likewise, from a Qigong perspective, what is said by the ancients is that the microcosm is the macrocosm. So there's a fractal kind of awareness to all this. And so what that means is, if we just focus inside the body based on what we know and what we feel, at any given moment, what is happening inside the body, right? It's just as mind-boggling as what's happening in the world. Because we have over 3 trillion cells or something, and each one of them is doing its little thing. And we have all these bacteria living in our gut and going through all of their life cycles. And there's this unfathomable activity, impermanence, that's going on internally as well. And so if we look at this system, the body-mind system, as a microcosm of the big system, what we're moving toward and in spiritual practice is we're moving into awareness. So with a capital A, or Buddha mind, or nirvana, or the you want to attach to it. And that awareness is the space in which all of this activity within the body is unfolding. Okay, I think that's kind of clear and obvious when you think about it a minute. There's all this digestion and circulation, all these things going on, all these cells living their lives. And it's unfolding in the context of the awareness of this being, that this being has. Okay, the little cells don't know that right now we're Zooming a Qigong class. They don't have any idea about that. They're just doing their own little thing in there. But it's all unfolding in a greater context, or in a greater body, so to speak, of awareness. Okay, so that's what the Buddha talked about, the unconditioned or the formless. Okay, so if the microcosm and the macrocosm are the same model, all this activity that's happening in the world is unfolding in the context of awareness, of a vast awareness. And that vast awareness externally is the same as the one internally. There's no difference. So that's just kind of a lot of words to try to express the nested nature of consciousness. So that you've seen me with the little Russian dolls, you know. So, you know, the little one-celled beings in our gut are living around in their little life with no concept of the bigger picture. And that just goes up at every level. Okay, so we're living our little lives with no concept of the bigger awareness in which all this is unfolding. So that's what we're going to be embodying today with this Qigong. So we can begin with standing motionless. And since the body is still, it's easy to sense the movement within the body, the movement with the breath, the movement with the pulse, the heartbeat. And the tingling sensation, which is what feeling is composed of, the tingling sensation on the skin, and also internally, sensing our organs and muscles and bones in this, so we can sense into that tingling quality of sensation inside the body. So that tingling sensation of feeling, that is sensate awareness in the body, that's the felt sense of the pixelated space of the mind, that has to do with seeing. So with the body we're feeling, in the mind maybe we see images, or we hear words, or we think thoughts, and that occurs in the space of the mind in the same way the sensation occurs in the body. It's all non-local. And as we calm down and relax into this pose, we're simultaneously embodying stillness and tremendous motion. Okay, so let's begin. Let's bow to the ancestors and the teachers and to the practice. And let's turn to the north. And bow to the north. to the east, to the south, to the west, and back to first position and above. All right, let's go into Trembling Mountain. So in this one, we're actually embodying that teaching of the movement and the stillness, because we're staying in this upright posture. That's the mountain. And we have an awareness of this vertical axis and of this body. And everything's moving. So internally, our organs are moving, our muscles are moving, everything's moving. And it's called trembling earth or trembling mountain because the movement unfolds within the structure of the planet or of a mountain or of this body. So let's just let all the anxieties, all the tensions that are in our muscles and all the thoughts, the millions of thoughts that have been whipping through like crazy, just let them all disappear, drop. So the awareness is that we're in harmony with all of this activity within the body and all around in the world. We're in harmony with it. We're moving with it. We're one with it. We're not observing it. We're it. If you notice that thoughts maybe are intruding, then put more intensity into the movement. And if you like, you can play with the frequency. You can bounce very, very quickly or more slowly. All these rhythms are happening at once. Very, very fast rhythms and very big, slow rhythms and everything in between. Okay, let's increase the intensity a little now. Okay, and now let's just reduce the movements little by little. Let's bring to mind the vertical column. And we can just touch into this. Looking up. And then down. All right, let's go into 3 backwashes, each with 3 tree and springs. So, So in the context of today's class, first position or standing mountain is Wu Ji. It's before the beginning. Now let's do tree and spring together slowly with some awareness. So dip the knees, point to the ground, and then point to the body as the hands come up. So we're bringing our awareness, our attention up from the earth. We're bringing it up through the body, inside the body, up through and out the top of the head, and extending infinitely up. Okay? And then we're going to return. This is the manifest realm, arms out. So let's repeat. So in the beginning, there's the earth, there's form. Form evolves into this body, this consciousness, which evolves into formlessness. And we become one with that, and then returning into the world of space and time, the world of form, completely. So again, starting with the material, forms, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, consciousness, awareness. Look up, okay, and then we come down and we bring the formless into the world of form. Okay, one more time. So pointing to the material, the world of form, raising it up through the body, senses, perceptions, thoughts and feelings, consciousness, awareness, the formless, being there, and then returning and unifying all of this. Okay? So that in a nutshell, that's the spiritual path. Right there, tree and spring. So if we do tree and spring with that, with the awareness of that, of how the attention becomes more and more subtle or finer, as the Taoists would say. If we're aware that that's actually what's going on, we can touch into that. So many practitioners, particularly in the Buddhist world, are so earnest. They try so hard. They work at it so much. And they're always contained, working within the conditioned. And with Qigong, we're bypassing all of that and going right to the unconditioned. So we're not going to attain awakening or nirvana if we never contemplate it or think about it or consider it or embody it. We're just going to be trying to work our way to it. Now let's do one more time. This is the spiritual path, the Taoist Qigong path in a nutshell. So starting, pointing to the earth, starting with form, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, consciousness going up, touching into the boundless, the formless, being one with it, disappearing, and then by stages, reforming. Taking form again. Okay? It's actually very simple. It doesn't have to be real complicated. Okay, so moving on. So let's go into this opening the chest. In breath. In touch with embracing the outer world. In touch with embodying the inner world. The in breath, it all comes to be. Creation, birth. The out breath, it all disappears. So this is life being born and dying, moment to moment to moment. That's what this gesture is. Embracing all that is. Letting go. There are variations on this movement, because you can go up, they're all more or less the same. You don't have to always repeat the same thing. Now in Qigong, this is called wake up, go to sleep. Or in Buddhism, this is alert and relaxed. And so keeping in mind that as we're embodying all of these opposites, extrovert, introvert, as we're embodying all of these, they're all unfolding within a greater awareness. So from the point of view of this body mind, we're doing these movements and contemplations, but looked at from the point of view of awareness, of stillness, this is just movement within stillness. Okay, let's do one more. And then hold this posture. Sense into the field all around the body and out in every direction. It's unfolding in awareness. And coming back and down. All right, let's do the hip flexibility. So placing a hand below your navel and the other hand on your lower back, and just tip the pelvic girdle, rocking it on the tops of the femurs. And so this flexes and stretches the lower back, which is really good for maintaining flexibility. Okay, and then circling the hips. So viewed from above, making a circle. If there's a little bit of tightness for you here, just a little tiny bit of pain, that's okay. That just means you're loosening up what's stiff. If there's more than a little, then absolutely don't do it. But if you do this even subtly, it will really contribute to keeping the lower back flexible. All right. And now the balancing. So depending how easy this is for you, you know, the basic thing is to sink down onto the left, bend the knee a little, sink down. So all the weight's on the one foot, and then lift up the other one. And the only trick here is don't lift up the foot until you're solid on the other one. And whatever you want to do with your hands is fine. The main thing is the hip flexibility and the balance. So if you do Tai Chi, some of these are kicks. And if you'd like an interesting meditation, just try standing in one of these postures, you know, for a minute or two. This one's often, this is golden pheasant. So there's a connection, knee to elbow. This other hand is pointing back. And if you do this a little bit at a time, you'll get to where you can hold these for longer periods of time, which is good for strengthening as well as for balance. This Tricia calls this the Taiji twist, and a lot of Taiji practitioners do this. There are a few variations to this, which we haven't really talked about. But the first one is just turning the waist, shifting the weight. And then a variation is that the upper body goes opposite to the lower body. It's a little strange at first, but it becomes natural real fast. And either way is fine. I've seen people do this bigly. Really letting the arms go. It's the same motion with the lower body. It's just the arms are much freer. And then one of my teachers, Gabrielle Byers, used to do this thing where she would tap. So you make loose fists, and you're tapping the kidneys in the back, and then the sides of the body in the front. She had a whole series of Qigong tapping kind of movements. And she did a thing too where you tap your butt as you turn. And this, I think, it's just to loosen the muscles. Oh yeah, and there's a slapping kind of thing too, where instead of fists, you just use an open hand, and it just stimulates your organs, I guess. All of this is tied into acupuncture and the meridians and Chinese medicine, all the tapping kinds of things, which is why I don't teach it, because I don't know it. I don't really know it. But I'll show you another one that she used to have us do. And this in Chinese, this is called the gua, the inguinal crease here, where the thigh meets the torso. And this is kind of a big deal in Taiji, how you deal with that. But there are a lot of lymph nodes here. And Gabrielle would have us make fists, and you're dropping the knees and tapping around the inguinal crease and up around the hips. And this, I think, it's pretty clear. It said that it would increase immune function, which, yeah, makes sense. And then she would go around and tap the buttocks. Yeah. And this was part of the whole series. And then go down the legs. You may find some Qigong people who do this kind of thing. It's probably really good for you. Okay. Very good. So we talked last time, this is kind of an abbreviated trembling mountain. So shake out your feet, shake out your hands, whatever. Qigong is often done rooted. I mean, the feet don't move. And after a while, that gets pretty tiring. So I think it's good to break the stance from time to time. Okay, so let's go into some of the, these are all breathing crane. The most basic breathing crane is as if the palms are resting on a beach ball, sort of a sphere, the center of which is the lower dantian, 3 inches below the navel, in the middle of the body. And then with the in-breath, the belly expands and the hands move out. And then they move back in. So this is breathing crane, so you can dip the knees, you sink down with the out breath. Okay, and so let's do the beginning move from Tai Chi. So in breath, out breath. As if strings are attached to the wrists and they're just being lifted up to shoulder height. This is a good one to smile as you come up. Okay, one more. And next one. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Last one. One, two, three, four. And next one. In, out. And one more. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our stool. You can use the Lan Fa mudra if you want to on your knees, or the cosmic mudra, or the yin and yang. Any of these are fine, whatever you want to do. And so let's set the intention for this sitting to be very still, to not move. So that we are still, and we are the stillness. The unborn. We are the awareness in which all movement arises and passes. Taking the point of view of awareness. This is very big and very empty. And very still. And if you would please, let's cast our attention into the body by feeling the aliveness, the tingling presence. And this tingling quality arises from constant motion at a very small level. Feel and imagine the workings of the body at a very microscopic level, even. The antibodies in the blood, bacteria in the gut, the cells, each living their lives. This body is a whole universe of living beings. And we are the awareness in which it unfolds. All the activity in the body is not separate from all the activity happening in this moment, in this world. And we are the awareness in which it all unfolds. From the point of view of awareness, it's just all impermanence, change, drama. And with the out breath, let go into the formless. Let it fill the body with the in-breath. Mingle this separateness with all the activity in the world with the out-breath. Feeling the aliveness in the body, and then going deeper into the stillness. Let's take a few more breaths. Come fully back into this place and time. Touched into the formless. Now we're fully into the world of form. Move your fingers and toes a little bit if you want to. And next we'll go into the removing glasses move. Okay, ready? Clap one time. Make heat. Massage your eye sockets. Comb back your hair. this was this was developed by Asians, so they all had straight hair. So for some people, this might not be the best way to comb back your hair. And tug on your ears. Okay, and make loose fists and tap your kidneys. Massage your kidneys. Okay, well, thank you all for joining in. And if you have any questions or comments, just unmute yourself. Liberate yourself from silence.
I've been thinking about tree and spring a lot out in outside in the mornings when I go out, and I do tree and spring then on the trees. And you know, it's so cool because it's a similar meditation of the trees are pulling the sap up from the earth right now, and they're bringing the sap up, and then they're special among living beings on earth because only plants can pull energy down from the past. Just like what you were talking about, Stephen, they can photosynthesize. So they take that solar energy and turn it into those amazing little green leaves that are everywhere and start manifesting new life that we all can eat. That's the energy, that's the only way we access that solar energy. And so they make it into the manifest realm. So I really loved your verbal accompaniment to the tree and spring today, and it was very similar to how I've been thinking about it as I've been doing it out in the spring. So thank you.
Words are made by fools like me, right? Thank you. Yeah. A lot of these things, a lot of these movements and so on are oriented to seasons. And I'm not well versed in that. My friend and teacher, Trisha Yu, often will do different moves or different postures according to the seasons or the moon. It's all sort of linked together. So yeah, you know, doing tree and spring in the spring next to a tree that's a kind of a no-brainer. Yeah.
And there she was doing it while we were talking about it. Hi.
Trisha? Oh, look at that. I can't hear, Trisha, I can't hear you. Can you unmute?
Hi.
That's great.
Trisha, are you in Taos?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
This was great. And I brought my computer out here. So I'm getting to do it outside, which is wonderful.
Well, it's his teaching.
Yeah, yeah. And there's the tree behind you.
Yep.
Well, you're looking great in this moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. I'm so glad you joined us. And we just got your card today, by the way, with those pictures.
Oh.
Pictures of your babies.
Yes. Oh, good.
Yeah, so sweet. Okay, anybody else?
Very nice class, Stephen. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Yes.
my pleasure. I was thinking about, because Doug said, well, are we going to continue this, through May? And because the Taiji Center was, that ended May 6th or something like that. So I'll just keep doing this just throughout the summer, until we actually can have class again. So I don't foresee, missing this unless something comes up for me or something, but.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. And Todd, did you get my message about the crows?
I did, yes. And I want you to know that my binoculars were sitting here at the ready in case I saw any warblers out the window. I've had 21 species today in the neighborhood.
Wow, in the neighborhood. Wow. Very impressive. Well, great. Well, thanks to you all for joining. It's really fun. And if you want to give me feedback or suggestions or questions or comments or anything, please feel free to email me and let me know. I miss the give and take, of the Sangha. So yeah, great to see you, Tricia.
Good to see you. Good to be here.
Yeah. We just have to get Don Coleman in on this one of these days.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, everybody. Well, thank you again. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.